Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and these are the 30 best features and some important tips and tricks for your RealMe 1. Now the first best feature about this phone is definitely its display. It has a massive 6-inch IPS display with Full HD Plus resolution in the new 18:9 aspect ratio with smaller bezels at the top and bottom. This is also called as a full view display and it has been a trend of 2017, but this is the first phone in the Indian market to come with a full view display with Full HD Plus resolution under 10,000 rupees. It is also the cheapest phone that comes with a Full HD Plus resolution with full view display in this price segment. Now the next best feature would be the performance. This phone sports a MediaTek Helio P60 processor with Mali G72 MP3 GPU. These are the Antutu and Geekbench scores, and this is definitely the most powerful processor in any other phone under 20,000 rupees. Now this is the same processor seen in OPPO F7, and in terms of performance it is equivalent and even better than the Snapdragon 636 processor seen in Asus M1 and the Redmi Note 5 Pro. It is also very power efficient, graphics are great, and this is the cheapest phone that offers that level of performance in the Indian market. Now the next best feature about this phone would be the dual VoLTE. Yes, you heard it right. This is one of the first few phones where you can use two 4G SIMs or two VoLTE SIMs at the same time. So you can use two Geo SIMs on this phone at the same time without any issues. Now the next best feature on this phone would be the dedicated SD card slot. Yes, this phone supports dual SIM along with the dedicated SD card slot, which is once again pretty rare to see in this price segment offering this level of performance. Now the next best feature would be the super fast face unlock feature. Now unlike any other phones in this price segment, face unlock on this phone is super fast, especially in good lighting conditions and slightly low lighting conditions. But in completely dark situations, it is slow and it sometimes fails, but in most other situations, it is super fast and faster than any other phone in this price segment. Next, this phone comes with pretty good cameras. Now this phone has a 13 megapixel rear camera and an 8 megapixel front facing camera. Cameras are really good considering the price. Now that's not all. Unlike most other phones in this price segment, it supports auto HDR for both the front and rear cameras, and even the capturing speeds in HDR mode are super fast. These are some sample pictures. Now the next best feature on this phone would be the portrait mode for the front and rear cameras. This phone has only one camera on the front and rear, but it uses some software processing to offer us portrait mode for both the front and rear cameras. Obviously, edge detection isn't as good as phones with a dual camera setup like the Honor 9 Lite or the Redmi Note 5 Pro, but still, it does a pretty good job for a single camera, and unless you zoom in, most of the time, you can't see the errors easily. So on the whole, you get to take some amazing looking portrait shots on this phone for front and rear cameras. Next, this phone has support for AR stickers, which simply adds these stickers to your face using both front and rear cameras. Now this isn't a great feature, but adds a nice touch of humor to your pictures. Next we have super vivid mode, and as the name suggests, it makes the images super vivid. Now on the left side I have the regular images, and on the right side I have the super vivid images. Colors simply pop if there is a human subject in the frame, except for his face and body, rest of the things pop, so it gives your picture a nice dramatic look. Next we have some camera gestures. For rear camera, we just have tap to shoot. Once you enable it, simply tap the screen to capture the shot. For the front facing camera, we have two gestures. One is the tap to capture and another one is the palm gesture. Just show your palm to your front facing camera and it takes a picture in 2 seconds. Now this is a super handy feature to take some great selfies. Next we have navigation gestures. Just like the iPhone X, many brands have started offering navigation gestures. We have all these navigation gestures, but out of them all, the first one works best. So you can swipe from the left side or the right side to go back, swipe from the center to go home, swipe and hold for recent apps. If you don't like this setup, we have other options too. No matter what you choose, all these gestures are meant to give you a more immersive experience. Next we have Assistive Ball. Once you enable this feature, you'll see a floating bubble on the screen and you can do different things with it. For example, you can tap it to go back, double tap it for multitask, and touch and hold to go home. Just in case if you didn't like the navigation gestures which I showed you earlier, you can use this assistive ball and have a much more immersive experience. Now there are other things this ball does too, do check it out yourself. Next we have a feature called Clone Apps, which as the name suggests, it will clone an application. So using this feature we can use two Facebook accounts, two Instagram accounts or two WhatsApp accounts on the same phone. Sadly, this feature is supported for only few applications. For example, if I want to use two Paytm applications on the same phone, I can't. So that's a limitation on this phone. Next we have a feature called Game Acceleration. And as the name suggests, It will help you have a much better gaming experience. For starters, it will enable Do Not Disturb mode. So if someone suddenly calls you, it won't interrupt your gameplay. It also disables auto brightness. It is something I really miss on other phones. And it also diverts hardware resources like the CPU and GPU for a better gaming experience. Once again, even this feature is partially implemented. All the games are not supported. But if a game supports this feature, it will load quickly. Next we have app split screen. Split screen has been on Android for a very long time, but now it works perfectly on this OPPO RealMe 1. Now these are the settings, and if you want to use a split screen mode, you need to enable these two toggles. And once you do that, you can open an app in the split screen mode by long pressing the recent apps button or simply swiping up using 3 fingers, which by the way is my favorite gesture. Simply swipe up using 3 fingers and it will open the current application in the split screen mode. You can select the secondary application from the list below. At the center you have a button. If you click it, you get 3 options. If you click the close button, it will close the foreground application. If you click the center button, it will swap the 2 applications. And if you click the first button, it will give you the option to switch between other applications, which is super handy. Next we have some screen gestures, and the first one would be the double tap to wake and sleep. Now once you enable this toggle, you can double tap the screen when your display is off, and in the lock screen, you can double tap in an empty area to put your phone back to sleep. Now this phone doesn't have a fingerprint scanner but has a super fast face unlock feature. So this double tap to wake gesture comes in really handy. Just pick up the phone and double tap the screen. Screen will light up, your front facing camera will read your face and quickly unlock the phone. It all happens in less than a second and it's really an awesome experience. Next we have some screen off gestures, like we can draw No to open the camera application, draw V to turn on the torch, draw once to turn it on, and then press the power button to turn it off. We also have music controls where we can swipe using 2 fingers to play or pause, draw a greater than or less than sign for next and previous songs. Now that's not all. We can even add new characters to open specific applications like W for WhatsApp and so on. Next we have some smart call features which I would recommend you to check out yourself. We have features like auto answer, switch from speaker to calls, and flip to mute, which is super handy. Next we have 3-finger screenshot. Before I explain you about this feature, let me show you how to take a normal screenshot on this phone. Just press the volume down button and power button both at the same time to take a screenshot. Now it is pretty simple, and if you have a hard time doing that, we have the 3-finger screenshot feature. Just enable the toggle and swipe down using 3 fingers to take a screenshot. It is super simple and super handy. Next we have a feature called long screenshot. Now you know how to take a screenshot, but what if you have to take a long screenshot? Instead of taking multiple screenshots, you can simply take a screenshot. Once you're done, click on the preview on the bottom left corner and then select long screenshot. Once you do that, you will see this window. Now keep scrolling up, and once you're done, click the green button. It will take a long screenshot. Next we have multi-touch prevention mode, which is nothing but pocket mode, which prevents accidental touches when your phone is in your pocket. It basically uses the proximity sensor. If something is covering the proximity sensor, display won't respond no matter what you do. Next we have a feature called Smart Assistant. In your home screen, when you swipe to the leftmost corner, you see the screen with different widgets. We have weather information, number of steps you have taken, events from your calendar, and so on. So if you want a quick preview of all your information, just enable this toggle, and if you are like me who doesn't want that, simply disable it. Next we have the option to record the screen. Now for some reason, if you want to record the screen, simply go to the notification area, swipe down, and we have a toggle that says Start Screen Recording. Once you click on that, screen recording will start after 3 seconds. Once you are done recording the screen, click the floating bubble to stop recording. Next we have App Lock. Now unlike many other phones out there, this phone has an app lock built into the system, and it's more secure than other third-party applications. Now using this feature, we can lock applications, and once again, unlike other phones, we can use our facial data to unlock a locked application. So if you're the owner of the phone and you have set up face unlock and locked a few applications, every time you open a locked application, you won't even see the lock screen. It'll show the lock screen, see your face, unlock the phone all at once, so it is super snappy and you won't even feel any inconvenience. If some other person is using your phone, they'll see the lock screen and have to enter the password to use that application. So once again, a super handy feature. Next we have an option to hide applications. Now this is something we rarely see on other phones, and many people have been asking me about this feature. So to hide applications on this phone, once again you need to go to the app lock section, lock an application, and once you do that, you will get an option below to hide that application. Now to access all the hidden applications, we can set up a unique number. Now when we dial that number from the phone dialer, we will see all our hidden applications. Once again, a super handy feature. Next we have Private Safe. Now just like the name suggests, it is a feature that allows you to hide stuff in a private vault or a folder kind of a thing. So once you set up a password, you can hide any kind of files, whether it's video, audio, or any other file in this Private Safe. Personally, I like the concept, but if you're really interested in using this feature, I will suggest you to use the Gallery Vault application. Next we have Kid Space. Now let's say you have kids and they want to use your phone to play games. Now using this Kids mode, you can select set of applications that you will allow your kid to use and set a time duration for which your kid can use your phone. So it's once again a super handy feature. It's a little complicated to explain it quickly, so just give it a try. Next we have Device On and Off preset, which is once again a complicated name for schedule power on and power off. And as the name suggests, we can schedule your phone to automatically turn off and turn on at a specific time. Next we have the option to record calls automatically. So there are many phones out there that doesn't give you any option to record calls. We have to install third-party applications, pay for apps and all, but we get that for free on this phone. To enable it, do the following. Next we have Startup Manager. Now just like the name suggests, it will stop applications from starting up automatically in the background. You probably never have to do it. From these settings, you can block applications from starting automatically in the background and thereby improving the battery life a little more. Next we have a feature called WhatsApp Cleaner. Now usually we get tons of messages every day. Most of them are repeated forward messages like good morning or good night, and using this feature we can easily find them and delete them without much hassle. Next we have Night Shield mode. Once you enable this feature, you'll see a warm tint on the screen which filters blue light from the display and helps you sleep better at night. We can also schedule it to turn on and turn off automatically. Now one of the best features of this phone that I recently found out was the audio experience. So if you're an audiophile, you will have a much better audio experience on this phone than any other phone in this price segment. And to make it even better, go to Settings, then select Sound and Vibration, scroll to the bottom and select Real Sound Technology. Make sure you enable it to get even better audio experience. So guys, those were the best features. Now let's look at some important tips and tricks. Now the first one I would suggest you to do is change your default browser, and if you want, change the default launcher too. So to change your default browser or the default home launcher, go to Settings, then select App Management, then select Default Application or Default App Management. From here you can change your default messaging app, phone dialer, browser and so on. So I'll just change the browser to Google Chrome. And if you have any third-party launcher like Nova Launcher, you can change it from here. Now the next thing I would suggest you to do has to do with the face unlock. So this phone doesn't have a fingerprint scanner and you might be using the face unlock feature. So if you are doing that, just go to the face unlock settings and make sure you enable this particular toggle. Once you enable this feature, your phone will use your display for light in low lighting conditions. So let me just give you a quick preview. So there are no lights. So this is how it looks. Now for some reason, if you don't like the layout of these navigation buttons and want to change them, you need to come over here, navigation keys, and from here you can change the navigation layout. We can also hide the navigation buttons by enabling this toggle. Then you will see a small down arrow over here. So you can press that and it will hide the navigation bar. Next, if you want to show the battery percentage or the network usage on the status bar, enable these two toggles. Next, we have a feature like ambient display, which lights up the screen whenever you get a notification. So if you want that, you can enable this toggle. Next, we can press the recent apps button twice to switch between the current application and the previous application quickly. So there you go. Now this phone also supports OTG pen drives, but that feature is disabled by default. So if you want to use an OTG pen drive for this phone, just go to Advanced Settings and then enable OTG connection. Once you do that, you will be able to use OTG pen drives on this phone. Next, if you go to the accessibility settings, you have this option that says press power button to end calls. So if you enable this toggle, you can end calls using the power button. Now in the home screen, we have an application called Clone Phone. So if this is a brand new phone and if you want to move all your data from your previous phone to this phone, use this application. Once you open it up, it will give you these two options. Just say this is the new phone and import from Android. It will give you a QR code, scan it on the other phone, and you will be able to transfer all your contacts, messages, apps from your old phone to this new phone. Next, we have something called OPPO Share. You can access it from here. This is a feature from OPPO which acts just like ShareIt, which allows you to transfer files over Wi-Fi. But this particular feature works only on the OPPO phones. So to transfer anything, simply enable OPPO share on both the OPPO phones. Just do that and it will be enabled. Now, no matter what you want to share, so let's say I want to share this particular image, I can press send, and if there is any OPPO device with OPPO share turned on in my surrounding, it will be listed over here. And with a simple click of a button, this particular image will be transferred to that phone. Now this phone is running Android Oreo, so we have something called picture-in-picture mode. Now let's say you are using Google Maps for navigation. Now you can simply press the home button. That particular application will shrink and give you a quick preview on the screen. So this application will stay on the screen no matter what you do. So this particular feature is called picture-in-picture mode. Right now very few applications support it. In India, YouTube is not supported, but if you're a YouTube Red subscriber, you can do it even for YouTube videos. Now let's say you're watching a video on Google Chrome. Now let's go full screen. Now if you press the home button, that video will keep playing on screen. So that's picture-in-picture mode. So guys, those were the best features and some important tips and tricks for your Realme 1. If I missed out on anything important, do let me know by commenting below this video. If you're planning to buy this phone, use the link in the description. It really helps the channel. If you want us to make any specific video, tweet out to us with the hashtag AskGreedyTech on Twitter and we will try to make it as soon as possible. I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech signing off. Have a nice day.